Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John, and this is my world-famous sipping den, to which I invite you in. On this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol. Pretty cool, huh? And I do a world-famous coffee review on Sundays. So I do it all here, right? I'm the only one in the world that can do it. It's a beautiful thing. I will say this. YouTube has provided a tool. It's called a playlist. I have perfected that tool. I could go into how I perfected it and how great the playlist is and everything like that, but I'd rather you just go over there and check it out, because I promise you, you're going to be amazed. It's so good, I don't even know if I can describe my own work. That's how good I've done on that job. Also, every comment is pinned, right? The first one pinned. Why? It's mine, but not just because it's mine, because it has a link to whatever playlist pertains to what I'm doing. And today, what I'm doing is a rye. Buzzard's Roost Peated Barrel Rye. Now, this was gifted to me by someone who comes in where I work, and they asked me, have you ever had Buzzard's Roost? And I said, yes. And they said, have you ever had the peated version? And I said, no. And they said, well, I keep samples in my car for friends that have never had it, because I like it so much that I keep, and I'm going to give you 2 of them. So, shout out to that man. What is this Buzzard's Roost? All right. About 2 decades ago, the founder, master blender, Jason Browner, B-R-A-U-N-E-R, decided to educate people about whiskey, opening Bourbon's Bistro, and, as their website mentions, pioneering the idea of barrel selection for restaurants. I've done barrel picks. They're a lot of fun. Buzzard's Roost works closely with their cooperage and uses proprietary barrels to create certain flavor profiles by creating different levels of char. Once the whiskey is selected, it is rebarreled using said barrels and aged in Kentucky warehouses. They're in Louisville, by the way, Louisville, Kentucky. Their 6th release since launching in 2019, which we detailed back in June, is a Peated Barrel Rye. That's what we have here today. This rye is double-barreled in new oak barrels, lightly smoked, using Scottish Peat. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see here. Well, here it is. Well, no, here it's not. That might be all we've got. That's all we damn need. I think. All right. It is aged 4 years in new, specially charred white oak mash bill, 95%, 5% malted barley. It is MGP, 105 proof. That's all the hell we need. I think it's only, it says here, only available in Kentucky. They're here in Kentucky. And Massachusetts. I don't understand that. But let me say this. I heard through the grapevine that, hold on, there's a band playing, because not yet. I heard that they are actually on Whiskey Row in downtown Louisville on Main Street. They are building a distillery. So I'm excited about that, if that rumor is true. So let's get into this bad boy. And once again, I got to thank my man. He's a whiskey aficionado, I'll tell you that right now. Oh, I'll give them back some stuff. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that. All right. Did a good job, man. He's got these little containers. He's got it written real nice on there. They have little kits, too, that come, I think, with these, and you can organize your samples. It's a cool thing to have. All right. Here's the color. Nice, isn't it? It's a nice color right there. Boy, I'll let you describe it, right? You're as good as anybody. All right. Remember, 95.5 on the rye. In a barrel smoked with peat. From Scotland. Scottish Peat. Smells great. So it does have, of course, well, I say, of course, this is a rye. It has a sweetness, a sweet smell to it. Kind of a caramelized, burnt caramelized brown sugar. It's got an oak element. It's got a fruity element. It's got a combination between dried fruits and orange. Almost like dried fruit with that, where you twist an orange and shoot a little bit of that oil from the peel, like you do in cocktails. Very pleasing. And I like Scotch. Okay, have a whole thing of it right here. But I'm not picking up a whole lot of that peat. Even though it's there, I'm not getting it. Maybe that caramelized sugar, burnt sugar, that burntness is the smoke. But it's certainly not hiding the sweetness, the fruit, the wood. Ooh. I could sit there all day. No, let's give it a taste. That's just the acclimation sip. Calm down. Wow. It does have a honeyed caramelized brown sugar to it. Has an appley. Hiccups. An appley taste. I do taste the peated. It is so underwhelming. Which, if you are not a big Scotch person, you are more into rye, more into bourbon, you're going to like. And if you're a big Scotch person, you might like it too. Not because it has traditional, it's not a Scotch, but it has a kiss of it. What's more important is if the kiss, instead of being overwhelming, or I love Scotch and I love bourbon and I love rye. But so I understand, I talk to a lot of people, I'm in the business, and a lot of bourbon people, they can't drink the Scotch. It's more easy for a Scotch person to drink the bourbon. Why do I think, and bourbon and rye I'm lumping together here, why do I think someone who likes rye / bourbon would like this? I'm going to tell you why. Because the influence of that smoky peat is underwhelming in the sense that it's not overpowering, but it adds a subtle flavor, which adds to the complexity of this whiskey in a good way. Okay? Because sometimes something that people don't like so much, in a tiny dose, that it doesn't overpower anything, adds a lot. And I think that's the case here. And as a Scotch guy and a rye guy, I like that little flavor on both ends of the spectrum. Surprisingly sweet for 95.5. Detecting no dill, detecting no mint. Very common in rye. Not getting it. I am getting an apple. I'm getting a little pie crust. I'm getting a sweet honey / caramelized sugar, brown sugar. I'm getting some wood. I'm getting some slight. I'm getting smokiness, and I'm getting the slightest amount of peat in this. And when you add those together and blend them all up, and don't think about it like I do, and just enjoy it as a whole, it is very pleasing. It's also fun to do when I do them, pick it apart, but I've done that my whole life with stuff, being an amateur cook and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to put a little water in here. My pipette. Plastic straw, but you know, it works. All right. Put a little water in. All right. See what happens, ladies and gentlemen. It has brought out a little bit of the fruitiness, especially now on the smell, which I didn't have before. Remember, had the dry fruit and the orange, and then the taste I had the apple. Now, I've got more of the apple up front. And although I feel water, through my experience, generally makes things sweeter, this smells less sweet. Brought out the fruit and brought out the smoke a little bit. So water has changed it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. 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 Definitely more fruity. Little bit more smoky and peaty. A little bit less sweet. Still a beautiful marriage of the oak, the smoke, the peat, the fruit taste, the sweetness, putting you to sleep, man. But it is very good. And he was right. And he was pretty confident. Didn't mean I was going to like it or love it. And he wouldn't have cared. Why should he? But I do happen to agree on it. It's very good. I have had a lot of Buzzard roosts. I haven't had this one. No, I have now. I've been at pourings of theirs where they'll open up 6 or 7 and pour them. This wasn't one of them. So now I've tasted most of their lineup. And I hope they really are coming to Louisville and start making their own stuff, which we're going to be, 4-6 years away. Still, it's exciting. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to sub. You know I'm going to see you on the next one. You know I am.